Okay, we're going to start in where the fun was, all right? And that was in cryptos. As you can see, had a major meltdown last night, and it seems to have been brought on by a fight between Binance and FTX. And that fight sort of got contagious in that these are the two most powerful men in the crypto industry, just arguing, throwing shade at each other about who's got the better crypto. But it was leaked that Alameda is the quant trading firm of FTX, and they hold out of 14 billion in total assets, 3 billion is in FTT, which is FTX native token, and 2 in FTT collateral. Now, FTT overnight absolutely tanked. I'll see if I can find a chart for you. Boom, 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 boom. Here it is. So this is where it was trading yesterday. Had a bit of a spike and then absolutely crushed, from $21 down to $2.50, and a huge spike in volume as people liquidated their positions, and maybe even FTT liquidated a lot of this 3.6 billion. So that sort of bit of contagion escalated out into cryptos at large, and as you can see, the index got smashed. But all the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Cardano all got absolutely smashed. A lot of fun. Back in the real world, US dollar made a new low as that tracks, but interestingly I note that the positioning is almost balanced now. So this is net longs, net shorts, based on the futures contract, and we can see that the commitment of traders, is what it's called, has become balanced. So what happens now? We can see here when they started to unwind those positions and went negative, that's where the dollar went. When they started to unwind the negatives and go long, that's where the dollar went. So as positioning goes, so does the index. And now that we're back at zero, will it bounce again, or will we have a little negative and then bounce, or will we get a full negative? It's hard to see why you'd want to be buying dollars at the moment, and that is that sort of positioning is supportive of US stocks, and vice versa. If US stocks are obviously tanking, then people will buy back in the US dollar index. But despite the contagion in cryptos, didn't really happen in stocks. With all that fear around, stocks didn't fall off, right? VIX ran up a little bit, but stocks closed higher. Yeah, it wasn't a fabulous day. It closed probably in the lower half of the range of the day, but managed to hold on to the 50 EMA, and pretty strong day, all things considered. So I don't see the stocks necessarily having a weaker time of it at the moment. There is fear of I guess the crypto crunch, so to speak, and the people liquidating their assets could carry over into stocks in terms of their need of margin call, or they need to liquidate some stocks to pay for things. There could be a bit of that, but overall I think stocks are going to be heading higher, and therefore US dollar is I think in the seller's market. Aussie dollar tried to get through this 65.30 level, failed on the 50 EMA. That'll be interesting to see where that goes. But we were talking about China coming out of COVID, and if that's going to actually happen, I don't think it's a clear picture yet, but the commodities sort of calmed down a bit. Copper back up, but hasn't made a new high, the commodity index weaker as things sort of calm down a little in the commodity market. So that's not really supportive of the Aussie dollar. So I think looking things like euro is good, and then maybe some of the crosses, such as I was talking earlier in the week, some of these yen crosses, such as the euro yen, pound yen, and CAD yen were opportunities. But in a couple of hours, well, later tonight, we're going to get the print that we're waiting for, which is the inflation numbers, and that could change the picture again, and we'll have to reassess. So tread lightly, guys, and I hope you didn't get too garnished in the cryptos.